When all of this shit drop, it's game over.
Right. Man, I'm in, niggas plotting.
I can't wait, man. The city is just this. If you ain't rocking with Chicago, you are currently behind the wave.
You're behind. You're actually behind. It's crazy.
You are behind the wave.
Yeah,
like,
niggas is out here.
Everybody can put me on the R&B thing and shit. What is up, and welcome to another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I have a special guest in the building, man. I have the rapper, not only the rapper, the Sunseeker, according to him, man. On top of that, I got Mr. Villain Energy himself, Patrick's son in the building, man. What's up, man?
What's up, man? I'm happy to be here, man. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem, G. Welcome to the show, man. You have a new project out right now, and I usually start these off a little different. I'll be asking people how they got into music. But we got to start the top of the show here with this project, man.
Yes, for sure.
I love Villain Energy. I love everything it's about. I feel like I understood so much more of you. Okay. Like, especially writing an interview while listening to the project. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is great. Like, this is, you put together a beautiful body of work, man. And I just want to kick it off. How did you make this? Like, what was the inception of this, man?
Oh, man. So first of all, thank you for those kind words.
Not a problem.
I really appreciate it because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it took... Because it really did take a lot, and it really took a lot of thoughtfulness. Like, I tell people this all the time. Like, when I write, I always want to make the most thoughtful bar. I always want to make
that bar actually mean something. Yeah. I don't want to just put something in the middle to fill space.
Exactly. I want it to be as righteous as possible. I want you to hear it, and you might not catch it at first, but it meant something. You might have to go back and listen.
It's like on your second listen, you like, oh shit, even that other bar.
Yes, bro. I've had people like, bro, like they'll call me like randomly and be like, bro, you said da 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 da. Like, I ain't even catch it at first.
So I didn't even know you did that.
But that's what I like. I like that type of music.
So that's like what really motivates the writing. And I mean, you said like this project, I'm assuming you had to sit down and really get in tune with the pen.
Yeah, because I wanted this to be like almost a coming out album. Like, meaning like I wanted it to kind of cement myself with like, okay, this guy is really about it. Like, he
if
really
you thought you knew me. Now you go ahead and give you the real.
Yeah, because Villain Energy as it stands is I know when people hear it, they think like, oh, it's supposed to be like evil and dark and demonic, but it's like really what I always preach about, my oath to myself, is righteousness. And a lot of times when I think about a villain, you think about somebody who hasn't been accepted by like a higher society or higher being.
Yeah, almost like an outcast more so is what we've changed that definition to mean.
Exactly. And a lot of times what a villain does is accept it and just goes on about his mission. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's something to this what's the word, psychology of a villain,
where like a villain can be so like one track minded because they like nothing around them matters. They already know that you're gonna talk your shit.
Right. It doesn't matter anymore. Like, I'm already what I am, and how you feel about me doesn't matter because I already have what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So you can't waver anymore. I'm so, and that's what it really was about. It's just the self-acceptance of myself.
So it's like, I have the energy of a villain.
I have the energy.
That don't mean I'm a villain. That just means I'm moving like one.
Exactly. It's the energy of a villain, but it's not a villain spirit. It's not a malicious spirit. It's just energy that villain has, that righteousness that a villain has, and taking it and making it, like, instead of destroying what most villains do and what they associate villains doing, taking that energy and creating. You know what I'm saying?
Man, okay. Hey, geez. You know what I'm saying?
So it's the energy.
This project really means something.
It meant a lot.
I mean, it leaks through the lyrics. Like, everything you're saying correlates so much with these bars, man. Like, how? So you got this idea. Like, that's a obvious, very well thought through meaning for a project. Yeah. How long did this take? Like, when did that idea come to you? And then when was you like, I got the first track ready?
So this was like last year. Like, we was like, me and Equine was talking about this at like New Year's Eve, and I remember I brought up the name Villain Energy up because I was just, it was something that I really thought up. Like, I've never heard of Villain Energy.
It was like, I came up with this entire concept. It was just like, I gotta ride with it.
I should trademark it. I need to go find out how to trademark it. But low key, like, that's what ended up. So I ended up thinking like, Villain Energy, that should be a project. I should think more about, okay, I like this title, but what does it mean to me? Yeah. Because at first I was thinking like, it sounds cool.
Yeah. But I mean, especially from just where you derived it from. Like, were you watching something where you were like, I don't agree with this villain, but I understand that they are very You know, like into what they're doing, almost
Yeah.
like because like what you're describing sounds more like a Killmonger and like Black Panther.
Yeah, or like
where
a
you're
Thanos.
like, yeah, like Thanos, where it's like, I don't really agree with what you're doing, but like
Right.
you
But
are
you get it.
moving so intently in this purpose you've
Exactly.
created. Like,
He created this, like, if you think about Thanos, like what he thought was good for everyone was actually like fucked up.
But like the thing was, he was so in that mindset. He was like, you can't tell me I'm
right.
not wrong.
And he said something. He was like, I'm the only one with the will to do what I'm doing. Because everybody would agree, but they don't got the will to do it.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, like flipping that to not be a villain, but that same energy is almost exactly what we all need to get shit done.
Yeah, because it's a lot of times people think like, you know, I don't live in a world of black and white.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a world where, you know, growing up, I was always taught to be open-minded.
Yeah.
So understanding that, I always try to find different perspectives from other people and listen to them. So I realized that a lot of life in itself is complex. Mm-hmm. It's not just what it is.
It can't be black and white. It's impossible for it to be that linear.
No, because that black had to arrive from somewhere.
Yeah. So it's like what made that transform from this what you call white? Like what are those stages in between?
Exactly. There is space. There is something that created that black, and there's something that created that white. So that's where I dive into, and that's where I kind of like, you know, think of like, you know, introspective, you know, shit like that, because it really intrigues me. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted that concept to, you know, I want to write about that more. I want to write about, you know, how my flaws have kept me back. How I've sabotaged myself just by my mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Purely just like, I didn't need a single other person to mess this one up. No. I got it. Don't worry.
Don't worry. I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got myself. So,
how did that correlate to putting that on wax? Because I mean, you saying that's like December, New Year's time for that, coming up with this concept and like really getting introspective from that point of view.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to put a track on wax? And then which one was it on the project?
So the first track we BBSR, Big Boy Shit I'm Rolling. That was the first track that was like this going.
I'm not gonna lie. If I heard that one first, I'd be like, yeah, the project's here. Like, it's time to start.
It's time to start.
Joint, I was playing in the car on the way here.
Yeah,
it knocks. So like, that's just real shit.
And just from some perspective, like when I made Crash, my other EP, the same session I was writing Crash, I wrote BBSR. But BBSR it didn't fit in there because it was like
you didn't have this concept yet.
I didn't have the concept yet, so I was like, this is something, but it has to go somewhere, and it has to go somewhere where it makes sense. So, and when I got Villain Energy, I was like, well, this of course has to go with it because of obviously how it sounds sonically.
Yeah, but like where it fits within the narrative.
Exactly.
And that really changes everything up.
It changes everything.
So you were working on this when you were working on your previous project at the same time. And I mean, that would not have fit on the last project, so I'm glad you saved it.
Right.
But like that becomes like kind of like where the starting point of how we get the rest of these tracks.
Exactly. And then that was the idea of like, okay, Villain Energy, and then the more and more I was starting to, you know, just test out what worked and what didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Going in the studio and just going,
what y'all think about this?
What y'all think about this? We gonna go, nah, because
I sat on that and it ain't the move.
Because before we even, bro, we had like already what we thought was done. When we thought like Villain Energy is done, like it still wasn't. Like the project y'all see now was totally different.
Oh man, I guess I gotta ask my favorite question early. I get so many crazy answers.
Come on.
How many tracks were left on the cutting room floor?
Ooh.
Like, I mean, and I'm telling you, some people have said some crazy numbers in here. That's why it's always interesting.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, bro, you got down to 7. I know you created more art.
I did, yeah. It was like, it wasn't a lot, honestly. I might have been, because I had a couple in the vote that I was like, should I redo this? So I might have had like, maybe 3 or 4 more songs that was like in the vote. That was like,
where it was like these really might make it.
They might make it, but they might not. So let's see what we got.
And were you like tossing between EP and full project at that time or anything?
Yeah, I was trying to see. Well, actually, before I was like, I want this to be like an album.
Okay.
But you know, I know some people categorize it as an EP, but it doesn't matter. It's just a project.
It's a project. I like the term project. It's my favorite term.
That's my favorite.
Because that's what you did. You worked on it. You created a project.
I thought about this and I made it. It was my project because that was all the talk. When we was going to the studio, it was like, what's going on with Villain Energy? What's this, what's that? Like we were had talking about it. For
Yeah, it's like it got the energy an album would have got. So it's like you don't even want to disrespect it by just calling it an EP.
Exactly. So I wanted it to be just more than just it's just a couple songs I just made. Like I wanted it to be like this is what happens when I put the time in correctly. You know what I'm saying?
Is that kind of what made less tracks get left like on the cutout, like from the newer tracks that were created?
Yeah, because Running was like the last track to come on.
Right.
Because we made Running, like me and like Bodie just hit me up. He was like, yo, I got this idea for a song. And by that time, we had, 9 songs for it? And
we so it was pretty much done. It could have been done.
It could have been done. But then when we made Running, I was like, damn, like, this was almost like perfect. Because we were thinking like, okay, Villain Energy is done technically, because everything was recorded really. And when I heard Running, I was like, damn, this is like...
We might have another slot.
We got another slot. So we did what made sense. I listened to it like at work and just listening to it in different orders to see what would work and what didn't work. And, and after that, we got Running, got the artwork, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad people fuck with it at the end of the day.
So this was like just a whole year process.
It was a whole year process.
Concept to recording just for this, just for these tracks here. That's so awesome, man. I love when people respect the space of it so much because
my God, bro,
that's obviously caring about your craft. That's treating it the same way people treat a job. That's treating it the same way people would take like these larger projects that others might say are more important, but
Absolutely.
it's like, no, this is important.
This is important.
And you gave it the energy that it deserved, man, and it definitely shows through this project.
Thank you, man.
Now, I love it so much from the lyric perspective, but I also love the production.
Okay.
Who is on production on these tracks, bro? When I tell you some of these samples, I was asking you before we just started. Like, what's this sample, bro? Like, who did this one? Like, man, like, what was some of the producers you used here?
So we had my man. Shout out to Mikey, Chicago. Stick him up. We got Buddha the Future, who was he works for. He's a legend. If you don't know about Buddha the Future, you got to get up and get.
Oh no, I'm gonna get on, bro. Trust me. Like,
Buddha the Future
I'm gonna find out that I know like 20 songs already that he produced.
So. Time Crisis is the first song that he did. That's the one joint that he produced.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm a fan. I'm a fan already. All I'm missing is the follow. I'll be on Instagram.
Yeah. Check him out because he's worked with like legends.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
We had J Wood. J Wood actually produced Follow Me.
Man, that's wild. Like J Wood, the artist.
J Wood, the artist. Yeah.
Man, I was on his like Instagram live when he was cooking up like 2 days ago or something.
Yeah. So we was in New York.
You really going stupid?
He was going stupid. We was in New York and he just came through our session and like he was like,
not the Chicago niggas in New York making some of the coldest beats. I told you, Follow Me is one of my favorite tracks.
I know, that was crazy.
Come on, how did Chicago energy get all the way to the East Coast?
All the way, bro. It was like he was playing some beats and I was like, I like that one. I like that one.
Like, hey man, don't send that to nobody.
Right.
Like,
let me on some like let me have this. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, hey man, we friends, right? Like, that was for me.
That was for me, right? So I got in there. He showed me the beat. I was like, all right, let me go in the studio. Just wrote it down, and that was the final version. Was the same version from New York.
Man,
so that was New York.
So that's real. That's that lightning in a bottle.
It was literally like a moment.
Has to be one of those great sessions where you just like, bro, everything.
That was the best time I had in New York. The last time we was in New York.
That's awesome.
It was a great because we was trying to find a studio session for like ever, and we could not find one. We didn't have the time, or didn't have whatever what it was.
Oh, the life bullshit.
The life, you know what I'm saying? So last day we in New York, we finally get a session, and then we was going all night, and we was just like fuck it. And then
like, man, what time we getting on the plane?
Right, it don't matter.
Keep going.
So we ended up getting that shit done, man, and that was that. So that was a real special moment. And then we got a couple of other producers from like I bought a lot of beats off of BeatStars. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where the beat from Running came from. Like, Brody was just popped up. He was like, bro, I got this beat.
I have the beat.
Yeah, bro, hop on the beat. Yeah, let's go.
What it is.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody who was on the project. That produced it. I know people. I'm trying to. What I want to do now is I want to work with more of my peers that do production because I feel like it's why go out to the internet. Like it works when
if they all right here at home.
But if they all right here at home and I fucks with them and they willing to give and they willing to work with me, then why wouldn't I?
That's what I'm seeing in the city too now. I'm seeing everybody popping up in sessions together where I see like a Instagram story. I'm like, how do they know them and them?
Exactly.
Like, what? And then they together, I'm like, whatever song they gonna do is gonna
be crazy.
And I'm just looking at it like, I actually know these people.
Right.
Like, these are people in my phone.
Right. Like I know these people. So
man, it's so awesome.
I wanted, you know, moving forward, like, you know, as I progress, and I want to work with different, you know, different artists, like get different perspectives, get different ways on how I can expand my artistry and how I can possibly expand their artistry. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm just focusing on, you know, the next project or the next song I got would probably be like more people that I know that produce. Getting them on the song, and hopefully, you know, that gets more
of those like lightning moments, those New York recording sessions that you had, man.
That's what it's.
It is. I mean, like I didn't even know that story, and I think that actually enhances the fact that I like the song more. It's one of those things where it's like, damn, like that even makes the song sound better after I know it, and I already loved it.
Right.
So that's so awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Now I got a few more questions on this project, and we're gonna dive into some of the regular Miseducation questions.
Come on.
But I definitely want to know, like, how was it in the sense of like opening up to write your story here? Because you did like this. I'd argue if you've heard Pat's son before, this the reintroduction. You know,
thank you.
Like Patrick's son is coming out on this one here, I found it so awesome and refreshing to kind of like get almost like an introduction story. I felt like everything I was hearing through it was kind of like vulnerable in a way.
Yes.
Like, how is that writing? Like, how's that writing process? You say you want to be righteous in the raps, but that doesn't always mean, you know, opening up your life.
Yeah, but that's and if you're righteous, that's something that you have to, because I respect my audience.
Okay.
And if my audience care enough to listen, then I should be able, the least I could do is tell you who I am.
Okay. Oh man, that's a really interesting perspective.
You know what I'm saying? That's because I used to be, before I was doing music, I used to be a fan of music.
Yeah.
So anybody who would talk about certain things, even if it's something that I can't relate to, but if they presented it in a way where I can take it in, that
leaving the emotion on the track for you to come back and grab as a listener.
You could come back and grab it, yeah. So, you know, like I said, like anytime that I write, I always want it to be a thoughtful idea and a thoughtful perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because
and does that like breed any? I guess like does it breed any fear? I guess of putting so many real life words to page.
It does, but it I find it that I get more out of myself when I do it, because
the other side is more rewarding.
Yeah, because I don't get a chance. I'm only child, so I don't get the chance to like express myself.
Yeah, it's not you got that sibling you can chop it up, say all the bullshit to it.
Yeah, I don't got that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
it's me and this microphone.
It's me and my phone. Like I'm writing raps, or like anything that I'm just thinking about or something that was just on my mind. I go, okay, let me find something that I can rap to, and you know, a production that can enhance what I'm saying and make you, because sometimes I get a lot of abstract beats because I want you to listen to what I'm saying.
It's like you're gonna notice my voice here because of where these drops are. And I did this on purpose.
I did it on purpose.
But I mean, I feel like that's how, you know, when you're choosing pockets in your rap, I feel like you definitely choose pockets that I would not, as I was saying, choose myself or even expect to hear.
Right.
And I feel like when you're placing such serious words inside of those gaps, it's gonna stand out more. It's gonna be something that a listener can grab more from.
Factual.
And it's like, man, I want to thank you for just sharing your art, because it is a very difficult process to be able to like, you know, really dive in. Like, and did you find yourself ever like, I don't know, guess holding back or revising words because of these things?
No, I don't ever try to revise anything, because it's there for a reason.
Okay.
Like whatever you're feeling, you feel it because it's real. Like feelings are real. So. And your mistakes are real too.
So it's like I don't want to go back and try to make myself sound better because I told this story. It's like no, that happened.
I'm not obsessed with being cool.
Okay.
I like this. Just because I'm a rapper doesn't mean I have to portray myself as the ideal generic rapper. Like I'm cooler than you. I got bitches. I got all that stuff. Like nah. Like I want to be able to relate to the people that I relate to. Yeah. Because that's why I love music.
Exactly. So you're pretty much creating the music you would have been a fan of.
Exactly.
Which is so awesome. That's so awesome.
That's exactly what I wanted, because my favorite artist was Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay. Oh man, you talk about somebody who'll tell you everything.
He tells you everything.
Man, when I tell you like,
everything,
him and Vince on Wool. Oh. One of my favorite tracks on this planet.
That's one of the
man.
That album is.
I don't like shit. I don't go outside, bro. Come on,
that had me in a cobra clutch,
bro. There was a summer where I'm positive that was like the only thing coming out of my speakers. Absolutely. Just because like the second you hear that, as soon as I catch the vibe, tell them to fetch the hearse, I'm just like, I'm here for the whole track, bro.
Bro, it was over with. But even like My favorite song off that is Grief.
Okay, yeah.
Because that was when I was like, oh, this nigga here.
He's
like,
willing to get vulnerable on a track. Like, he's really willing to throw it on the page and then just be like, take whatever you want from it.
Exactly. And that was the first time I think, and I don't know if you were going to ask this, but I'm just like, he was the reason why I decided to pick up a pen.
Oh yeah, that was definitely in the questions.
I know,
but like, man, that's awesome. Like, I mean, we naturally got to it.
So then awesome. He was the reason because growing up, like Odd Future, they, like I said, they had me in a Cobra Crush. Yes. Like they were
talk about good people just creating good.
Oh
art.
my god, like him and Tyler were. Bro, I looked up to them
bro,
like,
come
like
on, the
fucking,
Cherry Bomb days, bro.
Oh my goodness,
the Tron Cat, the Yonkers,
I was a fan from like when he dropped the Wolf.
Yeah. Woo. Man, come on. You talking about the shit we was really rolling around to in high school,
and
bro.
But going back what Tyler and Earl was talking about, they were talking about things that they were like going through as peers. Like I was growing up with them. Because me and Earl,
that's how it feels when you hear his new shit. For Tyler, at least.
Yeah.
When I hear Tyler's new music, I'm like, I feel like I've just like we're homies and I grew up with you.
Guy. Like
I feel like I was there with your SoundCloud era, and I'm just here, nigga. Like I'm here for the ride.
I'm here for the ride now, and that's the thing. And I wanted to have my listeners come on a journey with me. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they decide to come on, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was from the beginning or whether they hop on the train, like, oh, the last EP, like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I love the idea of being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong, and there's nothing weak about being vulnerable.
That's
if you can be vulnerable in spaces and with around other people, like that to me that shows a lot of strength.
It's damn near superpower. I was about to say, like, because I mean, in a world where we all have masks, I mean, down to the names, like J-Treb's not my name. It is in a sense a mask.
It's a mask.
It's something to protect and put an inhibitor between me and what is vulnerable.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, like that's even like in and of itself. Those small things are even things that we're doing to protect ourselves and not be vulnerable.
Exactly. And like for me, like Patrick's son is my name is Patrick.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you're far more upfront.
All right. That's my first name. I wanted to be like, this is actually who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like Patrick's son. Like a lot of times, I'm like, oh shit. Like people see me as Patrick's son.
Yeah.
But I'm not much different than the guy that you listen to.
It's like these are the same. It's
the same person. It's just you know what I'm saying. So it was like, like I said, I just always wanted to give people an honest take on what I feel and what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that people listen, they can relate to it, they agree with it, and they, listen on their own time. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do appreciate people who just take the time out and just listen. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot. It means a tremendous lot. It means a lot to me.
Now, I do want to ask a question. We were just previously talking about how your name is Patrick's son. Yes. But my favorite question to ask people is, what were the first rap names, man? Like, what did we start with? I imagine it took us a second to get to Patrick's son. But what are those ones, the ones that ain't even on SoundCloud no more?
Bro, holy shit. Yeah, I'm got to dive back to the goddamn...
That's what I'm saying. How many name changes did you go through? Was there like a few?
It was more than a few.
Okay, then give me some notables. Give me some ones that you were like, I thought that was cold at the time.
Okay, so back in the day, just the backstory. Like I used to.
If it needs a backstory, I'm interested.
Okay, yeah. So we used to rap like at my school. We had MacBooks that they gave us. Right? Okay. So of course, with MacBooks, you got GarageBand and everybody rapping. So like,
plug the mic in. We about to start rapping.
We was just like recording
over the computer. We with the Mac held up to your mouth.
Yes, bro. We were ghetto with it. So my first rap name was Kingpin Ricky.
You right. That do need some backstory. You right.
I need it because and like I don't know why. I think I was like thinking of like what will sound like cool.
I need something that's gonna grab attention.
Yeah, I need something like bad. Like I don't want to call myself a boss. And I wasn't thinking on like God level yet. So I was thinking like a kingpin. Like they got a lot of
That's hilarious. It's like immediately I just had to dive to being a kingpin.
I'm a kingpin. I wasn't a kingpin then.
Oh man.
So we had Kingpin Ricky. We got Radical.
How was it spelled? Was that spelled just regular? Couldn't have been. Couldn't have been spelled regular.
No, it was spelled. I think it was spelled regular.
It was just regular Radical?
I'm gonna tell you why. I got it off my PlayStation name.
Not right off the PlayStation.
I got it right
screen.
off the PlayStation.
Oh,
it was
man,
radical.
you've been doing this then. You've been doing this for a minute.
I've been faking it. That's what I've been. I was faking it. And then it was, the latest one was Rick Tony.
Okay. And were any of these like traction names? Like any of these names you were trying to like really push and like really get out there in the equivalent of what you are now or no?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think a lot of times like, I was just trying shit, and because when I was first started rapping, I was rapping like other rappers. Mm-hmm. Like when I was rapping.
What time period is this for you? Like what age were you when you did start, saying like, I'm about to try to rap, I'm gonna come out here Kingpin Ricky on them.
This was like, this is like fucking my freshman year of high school.
Okay, so like
maybe
14, like 13, 14.
I'm like 15, maybe.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
You really are vetting this, like I feel like we're in that first generation of being able to even touch the equipment and be able to do stuff at that age range. For sure. That's the thing, because I'd argue like the OGs, like our OGs generation, they really would have had to get studio time literally until the 90s.
For sure.
And we were like, no, we can do this in the crib.
Right, I can just do this right now. It's gonna sound bad, but I could do it.
Yeah.
But I
like fumble through.
Exactly. But I wasn't like, the reason why I always say like I wasn't a vet necessarily. It was like I wasn't I didn't have a purpose for my rapping. I was just rapping because I thought it was cool.
It was like, let me just add this to my name.
Yeah, let me just be cool. Like everybody else doing it. Like let's just see.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas could do it.
Right, them niggas could do it. I could do it. And so it was like I wasn't necessarily taking it as serious. I was just doing it just to do it. Because first I thought I was gonna be a comedian.
Interesting.
I thought I was gonna go on
Those
stage.
Those two things go hand in hand more than people think.
They do.
Currently, like I've been in the studio like last 2 weeks with comedian rappers. Like they are bona fide comedians and rappers.
They rap. That's
and
crazy.
I'm just like, I see the correlation.
If the correlation is there, because
it's like low key, you need almost the same worldview. If that makes sense. You have to,
because you have to go to be able to go on stage. First of all, you have to have courage.
Oh yeah, like when that barrier of entry is right there. You need to be able to
go on stage.
People not liking something.
Yes,
that's the real hard part about being on stage.
Because there's an immediate reaction.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing held back.
Nothing. If you suck, if you go on stage and you're not funny. Oh, they'll let you know.
That's what scares me about being a comedian. I'm like, bro, how do you look out to a room that didn't laugh?
It didn't laugh.
Boy, my heart was sinking.
I do. I've tried, and it's very exposing. It's very exposing.
Talk about vulnerable.
Talk about vulnerable. So that's when I started thinking of like, what was my purpose in life, and that's when I started to go, okay, how can I express myself more? Because I felt like I wasn't expressing myself, and it was eating at me. I was getting depressed and because I couldn't say and do what I wanted.
Yeah, it almost felt a little muted in a way where it's like, I feel like just because I don't have the outlet, I'm more silenced than I should be.
Exactly. So it was like, if I go on stage and talk about, and my favorite comedian was Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, shout out, rest in peace.
Shout out, yeah, rest in peace.
Elephant in the Room is one of the best stand-up specials on
He's one of the best stand-ups to ever have done it. And that's, I will argue to my face is blue. I don't care.
Easily. No, yeah. I agree with you.
Thank you. I'm glad you do. I'm glad we right here. We right here now.
Bro, come on. Patrice O'Neal is easily one of the goats. Just all the shit he used to do back in the day on Mad TV, or even his early internet stuff that people don't give enough credit to. Yeah. Bro, he has ripped through some comedy sets. Yes. I'm talking laugh from when he stepped on stage to after. Like, I'm still laughing about the joke.
And one thing that always stuck with me, what he said is, if you gotta go on stage and you have to believe what you're saying. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that idea of, okay, if I go on stage and I go on here and I fake the funk, I feel like people are gonna see that.
Or at least somebody gonna see it, call it out.
Somebody gonna call it out, and you don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. I'd rather go on stage and talk about what I'm actually going to talk about. And then,
if I bomb on my own accord, it's a little bit different. If I bomb because I am giving myself, I just didn't phrase it right.
Exactly. Right. So now it's like, being a comedian, you have that immediate reaction. Mm-hmm. And translating into music, it's like, you don't have that immediate reaction, but you do have a reaction that people can relate to, and they will follow you. Yeah. So it's like, it is hand in hand. There's, it's a lot of contrast. There's a lot of things where it's like, it doesn't, but it's still in the same realm of like art and trying to take something, because like, even like another thing for you, it was like, good jokes and bad jokes come from the same place.
Bro, every good joke is on the line of
On the line of being bad.
Like
Yeah.
literally, it's all of them. Like, anything you laugh at, it's like, yo, there's one thing in there that could have just slightly changed. You probably would have been like, this is terrible.
And that's the art of it. It's like, it's a science to it. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, I respect, comedy as its art, because to make people laugh, it's like, it's a joyous thing. It's like
you're being told to on command.
You're being told.
It's not like we just sitting here saying something and then a little funny shit came up. This is like, you're getting paid to make me laugh on cue.
On cue. And think about like how joyous it is to make someone laugh. Like, that's the best feeling. Laughing is probably the best feeling anyone can ever experience.
Definitely.
So to go on stage and to do it constantly and to have that same reaction, like, that's what makes great comedians, because they're getting the best out of people in this space, and they're sharing this space. And like with music, you get to share this space with people who relate to your music and what you're saying. Because you could talk, because the way I transitioned from comedian to being an artist and making music is...
What age are we at now? Like, where's that transition happening?
We're like 25. Like,
okay.
I'm 28 now.
So it's about like 10 years in that gap of like, kind of like existing more thinking of the comedian side, but knowing that you do have the like rap prowess.
I did have the idea of like, okay, I knew, because I've rapped before, but I wasn't taking it serious. So when I've thought about taking things serious and actually committing to something, the first thing was comedy. And when I got on stage, I was like, oh, I can actually do this. Like, I can make people laugh. Like, I'm not in my own head. Like, you just got to go out there and try it. So there were things that I was writing down, like, as jokes that wasn't necessarily funny. But it was something to it.
Like, I kind of think this is just a rap song.
Yeah,
this might just be a serious track. I don't think this is a joke anymore.
Exactly. This is an idea, but I don't know how I can fit it on stage. So that's when I started experimenting. I was like, let me exercise this bone of rapping again. And with that came, I got a homeboy who got a studio.
Oh, man.
So now I'm like, let me try it.
The only barrier is now me. Like, I'm the only one who can stop myself at this point if I have the resource.
I have the resource. So, like, I just tried it, and I was just, and it was something that just clicked. I was like, yeah, let me continue this.
It's like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Man, that's so awesome that you even, like, you got to experience so much to go into this, because I feel like that is what gives, like, the rap the grit. That's what gives the music the character. It's the lived experience. It's like, it's the fact that, like, artists can't spend all day in a studio, because then you're just gonna write about a studio. It's like, if you spent your whole life in studios just for all of those years, you'd only have that to rap about. But I feel like you get more perspective, especially dabbling in different artistries. Now that's just like so broad to me that like you almost like drew these connections and correlations and kept it all in the same wheelhouse. But like, I kind of want to know, like, where do you come from on your writing like position now? Like, meaning like when you're about to start writing a track, like, from the time periods, rapping into your MacBook on GarageBand to like sitting down and writing your comedy, how does all of that translate to now when you approach your pen? Because all of those are completely different stages of creation.
Very different. Like, it's keeping the idea of just believing in what I believe in. And when I want to say something, if I'm going to speak, I have a responsibility to know what I'm talking about.
And do you wait for it to come to you, or can you like sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna get a rap out, just put a beat on loop? Like,
no, I'm really bad. I don't like the idea of like coming in and just, I've done it before, but I really like to sit and rap. I really like to sit and write. I like to sit and really think about the next bar that's going to come after the bar I just said.
Instead of like a more pressurous, like, yo, just give me 15, I'll sit in the corner.
Right, that's all I need. Like, I can do it,
but it's you want it to have more. It's almost like you want the time.
Yeah, I want some more time. Like, I rather you like, hey, I got this beat from you, I'm gonna send it to you. Take as much time and rap it. Like, that to me, that's my ideal situation. Now, obviously, that doesn't happen a lot of times.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it's like, no, we got one right now, and I gotta get this out right now.
Yeah. So like, that's my idea. So like I said, like, I always want to just take my time and appreciate and be very thoughtful about what I'm going to be presenting to people. Because I'm not a person that just believes in, like, I believe there is a responsibility to speaking and to making music. Like, if you're going to do it, be sure that you can show people that it's doable. And it is hard, but it's not like I'm coming at you like I'm cooler than you, or like you can't do what I do. Like, you can, It's just all
you
about
can do this. It's
you can
just,
do
you
this.
have to you have to take your time. You have to do it right.
Do it right. Just and accept. One thing is be okay with failing. Like it's been a lot of times where I think this song is going to be the next hit, and then it's like a dud.
And it's like, y'all like that other one?
Bro, it's been people out like I thought BBSR was going to be the hit. Like everybody heard it. I was like, oh yeah, this is gold.
Like this one go.
But then like people be like it's not
getting the reception you thought it would get,
exactly,
as opposed to other tracks where you're like, y'all, that one?
Yeah, it was like,
I'll be honest, like I didn't bring up BBSR immediately. I brought up like, Follow Me. And I was like, man, and that one had like a story of almost being a quick track.
Exactly.
Something that might not have been, the getting to sit down and be in your element vibe.
Right. But it was all still righteous. And that's my whole
That's the whole movement.
That's the whole movement. That's
that's the only way you go movement.
That's the only movement, man. That's my oath to me is just to be righteous and to be honest with people and be okay. And like I always, if it's times where I write songs and I'm just not feeling it, or I might have to come back to it. I might be sitting on this. Like it sounds
like,
good.
let me not pressure the pen space right now.
I don't ever pressure.
Go ahead and just sit back.
Exactly. I'd never pressure myself to force a bar. If it's not there, it's not there. Because a lot of times when I'm really, really writing, and I could just
you like, oh no, they falling in place.
I have to
Tetris.
I have to keep going. Like I be getting that trouble at work because I'm just sitting there on my phone. Everything I'm texting, I'm like,
it's like, hey bro, hold up, I just gotta get this.
Yeah, I gotta get this out. And a lot of times I don't even have a beat. I just be thinking of like.
I was gonna ask that next. So like when you approach a studio session, like, because I mean, being more in the writer column here is what I'm hearing is like, how do you then go into a studio and select beat? Like, do you just have to be like rolling through your notes as beats are playing and going, does this fit here? Does this fit here?
Bro, it's a lot of surgery that I do with my bars because a lot of times where I go, okay, this song and what I'm saying here doesn't necessarily fit. But I have I have a bunch of notes. I have almost like.
So it's like, I take these four, put these four over here, these four over here. I got a 16 now.
Or I can like delete this whole thing and kind of shorten it down. Or I can like take this from another song and put it right here.
Man, so, like, that's crazy. You're just doing puzzle pieces with the bars.
That's a perfect way to say it. It's like a puzzle piece. Like, okay, this doesn't fit. Does this fit? Okay, let me wrap it a couple times. Like, it might fit. It might fit.
Man, you know that's so like, awesome, though. I mean, when you're pulling from such a wealth of knowledge, when your iPhone knows it's this deep, like, I mean, that becomes just an awesome game to play. It might be. Like,
but I also never stop writing.
Okay.
Like, I do not, like, I'll find a beat, and I might not even really, it might be a beat that you'll never hear me on. Like, this don't sound like a Patrick Sun beat, but I'll exercise. It's almost like exercising and training myself.
Yeah, getting yourself in a different area. So it's like, let me flex my muscle over here to show you that I can, I can
do it, but I might not necessarily drop it. This might be my own thing, but it's just exercising that bone of just like writing. So when I can write on the things the beats that really speak to me, I can really.
It's like, oh no, I'm ready for it.
And I'm already ready.
And it's like you might even already had one from another time, but it's like now you have to be for it, and now all the energy.
Now it sounds like this is going crazy. So less than always, you don't never gotta, if you always stay ready, you don't gotta get ready.
Hey man, that is the best way to put it.
It's the best way. So I'm always just putting pen to the pad and just writing and just seeing what I can get. You know what I'm saying? So I never stop writing ever.
That's so awesome, G.
It.
Now look, man, you got all of these bars and everything. I want to see how that plays into my next question here.
Okay.
This is another everybody gets this one question. Answer's always different,
Let's
man.
do it.
You have an unlimited budget. Money's not an object.
Okay.
What's the project we making? No artist can tell you no. No producer is gonna say, nah, I'm not gonna give you no beat.
Ooh.
Like you could get the feature from 3 Stacks if you wanted it. You could get Jay Alec into the studio. I'm talking like we could really get whoever. That's what I'm saying. And look, I always tell people this is only gonna hold for 24 hours. I don't want nobody to try to hold you to it if they see you in the street and be like, nigga, you can make a project with. Nah, man, I'm putting you on the spot. Hey, everybody, this answer only lasts for as long as he here for. But who would it be, man? Just a couple people you need in there. Is there a energy you would need, a place you'd want to do it at specifically?
Ooh.
All of these things are factors.
I would love to. Man, if I could have it my way, unlimited budget, I would do a project in in Chicago.
Okay.
I would have different artists fly to here and into
because you got to get the energy here. That's
I want you to come to where I
experience some of the city before you write your bars type shit. Like, hey, go walk along the lake and then come back to the studio and see and let me see what you write.
Exactly. Gotta get it. Gotta seek the sun. I gotta have Tyler the Creator in there.
Okay. 100%.
I gotta have Earl Sweatshirt in there.
Okay.
I gotta have my I don't know if you know of Mavi.
I'm not sure.
Mavi is from I think he's from Charlotte. He was like, I heard him on an Earl song one time and I was instantly a fan.
And it was like, nope, I'm a fan of you, bro. Great feature.
I would just do a mixture of rap, but also a mixture of like modern blues, kind of like
oh man,
something where it's like I don't necessarily want to sing, but I want to
kind of like a reflective tone almost. With like it's nothing that's too hard hitting, but something that like really you could sit in and think about.
Right? Yeah. Like I remember like growing up and the music that really speaks to me. It's a lot of old school R&B, a lot of old school blues because my mom would play that a lot, and I would get a visceral emotion out of it.
Like,
I would feel like I feel what this person is talking about.
When you turn on something like "Cause I Love You," Lenny Williams, it's like, bro.
But turn on some Anita Baker.
Oh man,
Come on, man.
It's like I feel like I'm here. I feel like I'm going through your shit.
I can't believe like I'm feeling this right now.
Anita Baker's a perfect example because it's like she'll start singing. It's like I think that I'm in your position.
Yeah.
As you're singing, I think I just became like I took on the persona.
Yeah, I'm actually you right now. Like it doesn't matter that I'm not even the same gender, but I'm actually with you right now. Mm-hmm. Like, and I think I would love to have just a complete rap album. Like any artist that respects the craft of rapping. And the craft of writing, and I want all the artists. Like, if I can have it my way, I'll get 3 stacks in there for sure. Okay. If my all-time dream feature would probably be Jay-Z.
Okay.
And Earl,
you got a whole feature in there.
Yeah, Earl and Jay-Z are tied for like. If I could have one or the other, I'll be.
Oh no, you getting everything. That's why everything. This question has no parameters because I feel like, and I mean, even the basis of this question, it comes from me just wanting to know what someone would do if they could turn the locks off of their brain.
Oh man,
because that's the thing though. Because it's like those are the inhibitors. It's like, yeah, I can sit here and say I'm making my dream project. But if you really handed me $10 million, I bet you it would be a real dream project.
A real good project.
So it's like,
if I had the unlimited, man, I have to get the Alchemist to probably produce the whole thing.
Okay.
I think the Alchemist will probably.
I actually like that too because that's old school rap right there. Having one producer through the whole thing, you can even have a couple co-producers come in, but it keeps the energy through the whole project. I want the
Alchemist because the Alchemist is. I think his production speaks to me more. I gravitate more towards the Alchemist. So I would want the Alchemist to do the whole thing.
Okay.
And I would get Tyler. If I could get Pharrell to co-produce on like some. Can you think about Pharrell Alchemist? What? Pharrell
that might be one of my dreams.
Come on, man. Like I want to get like an idea of like things that you think wouldn't make sense, but it just comes together.
Yeah, but once again, we're talking about the puzzle pieces, like your verses, where it's just like, I bet you these two fit. You just don't know it.
You just don't know it. You just like I wouldn't even have Tyler and Earl on the same song, but I might.
Yeah, it's like Tyler on the same track as like 3 stacks and Earl with Hove, and ain't nobody seen these things before.
Can you imagine Earl with Hove and Patrick's son?
Hey, come on, man. Hey, bro, we talking about it because it could happen.
I'm putting it out there.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, this is also a manifesting question.
It's a manifest. I'm manifesting like a motherfucker. I was just manifesting over the weekend.
Is there anything else that you would need for this project outside of these things?
Man, shit. Nah, bro.
And just the stuff that comes to mind, like
I guess, like just someone who would just record. Like I'll probably get my homie Andy to probably shoot. You know what I'm saying? He's a photographer. Like
you like, bro. I gotta have my homie capture my
moments. Yeah. I would love all the people that started and came up and supported me. I would love for them to be a part of the project in any way.
Definitely.
Like whether you think, hey, you should just add this to this, or just like, you know what I'm saying?
Those would be the best listening sessions ever.
Exactly. Just everybody who was. Helped me get here, and everybody who believes in me.
You got them coming over to hit enter on the track. It's like, I just want to put your name in the credits, bro.
Right, I don't care.
Like, I just want to put your name in the credits, bro.
Yeah, so that would probably be it. Because I would love for it to be. I don't want to get too out of
your pocket you've already created.
Exactly. I want to stay in. I want to make that pocket bigger, but I want to expand doing my own thing and not
making sure it makes sense. Not just going crazy because you could.
Because I could do something crazy, but. do something crazy that makes sense to you.
Of course, man. Hey, that's what's up. I love that answer. I'm gonna be honest. You're the first person to say Pharrell Alchemist on here, and that is a top tier combination. I never knew I wanted to hear.
That's a top tier combination.
I never knew I wanted to hear that. But I'm trying to think of what it could sound like, and it's like I don't think I could.
That's why I would love to do it. I would love it. It will probably sound like the greatest thing you're ever.
That's it, dude. There's no way that they would not create a song that would just immediately make everyone happy. It's like, yo, the second that beat comes on, I feel, yeah, I know, because of who made it. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm over here like almost like I'm getting so emotional just thinking about it.
Man, come on, dude, we got Passion on rapping on top of it. G, come on, that'd be the best project I heard.
That would be it for me. That's the dream come true, man.
That's what's up, man. See, I love that question. I feel like the answers I get are always so awesome. They're always so awesome, man. And look, G, we're getting to the wrap up here, and there's another question too, man.
Let's do it.
Because I love this question because I always just want to know, especially with people after hearing their work ethic. Like you say that you'll be at work writing your bars down, bro. Yeah. You say that if you get a bar, you just gotta go for it. You love writing and you love this space.
Facts.
But what are you doing to make sure you take care of your creativity? Ooh. So, like, what are the things, like, do you need to step away from it, meditate, maybe go shoot some basketball? I don't know. Like, what do you do to just make sure you're, like, fostering your creativity, making sure it's, like, taken care of?
That's a great question. That is a really good question. I guess I just have to find space for myself. Like, a lot of times I might get on my bike and go to the lake and just rap.
Okay.
Sometimes I might just listen to some beats
with no intention of putting verses.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I just need, a lot of times I need my space. I need to be in my own little world.
How do you find your own space when you're also the product you push?
Damn.
I'm sorry. That might have been too deep. I apologize. That just came to me, but that question did sound deep as hell when I said it.
It is a deep question. It really is. And God damn, that's a really good question.
Man, I'm sorry, G. Like, I don't even have I wouldn't have an answer for that shit. So I don't even want to put no pressure on you for that one.
I love this question. I love this question because it's a question I've never heard, and it's going to make me pull something that I might not even have thought about.
Mm-hmm. But it's like you are the product you're pushing. You are the goal, the end game, the rapper. Yeah. So it's like when you need to separate from the rap, how does the rapper get away from rapping?
Like, I think, and this just came to my mind the more I'm thinking about it. I think because of where I come from and the things that affected me, I think I wanted to get more. I don't want to get more space away from myself. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get closer to myself, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it's actually not a removal so much as a going deeper.
Yeah, I want to get because I had a lot of self-confidence issues and a lot of self-doubt issues and a lot of anxiety and PTSD from where I come from and a lot of frustrations of like I feel like I wasted a lot of time not doing and making a purpose. Mm-hmm. I spent too many times trying to find a purpose. So I never really think that I have who I am figured out all the way. Mm-hmm. So I think what really helps me is to try to find what I actually am and who I actually am. And then those
things are bringing about the creativity because it's like the more you're figuring out about yourself. So for you, it's more of an introspective dive than a step away.
It's more of like
it's like you're diving deeper to Patrick as opposed to staying on the level of Patrick's son.
Yeah, I don't want to be because Patrick's son is I am him and he is me.
Yeah,
but who is that person?
Yeah, because that is your creative persona. That is the creativity that I'm even talking about in the question. Like, how do you take care of Patrick? So
how do I take care of me? But like, I'm still on the way of trying to take care of Patrick, but also be Patrick's son. It's like I want to get more connected with myself, and music helps me do that. Because when I rap about certain things, and when I'm just honest, and people can relate to it, it kind of makes me feel like, okay, I'm not crazy for thinking that. And I'm not the only one who thinks this way.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess, because I've always been alone a lot of times because I don't have siblings. And a lot of times, parents wasn't in the house because they just had to work. Finding that community of people and finding that, my peers who do music with me and being together and trying to find your way and find your place and be okay with that and have that self-acceptance. Going back to villain energy, it was accepting yourself and actually accept yourself, you have to find yourself. So with that, I have to accept the fact that I don't think I'm truly I don't think I've truly found myself yet,
Mhm.
but on this journey, I'm getting closer and closer because I want to. So I think to answer your question, I think that's what brings out the creative, and I know that
that's kind of what like just takes care of all of it. It's that
takes- yeah.
continual like, well, I'm actually just always trying to make myself better.
Yeah, I try to get better all the time. I want to be a better person. How can I be a better friend, a better boyfriend, a better son, a better,
Mhm.
cousin or whatever? So that all kind of ties into the artistry too, because how can I be a better artist?
Thank you so much, Patrick Son, for coming on to the podcast, man. Thank you all at home for checking out this episode, man. Make sure you're playing this podcast for your mama, your daddy, your baby sister, your babysitter. Play it for your cousin, your goldfish, your dog. Man, play this on your phone and then just leave it playing when you go into work. Turn the volume all the way down, man. We're going to be here next week for another episode. Deuces.
Yeah. Niggas play around like they don't know what time it is. I ain't trying to reload, I get mid shot. I got the nigga, I'm a cheat code, and I ain't running out of that.